I post 3 long form videos per week, and if you would have told me that was possible a few months ago, I would not have believed you. Now, this is not a video about growing on YouTube or posting more videos or whatever. I will instead teach you how to produce significantly more than what you think is possible in your own business or goals. Using the 5 principles that I'm going to share with you today, you'll understand how I was able to post 3 videos per week while working a full-time job and growing a business. So the first principle is to simply set the goal. So at the start of the year, I set the goal of posting once every 2 weeks. At that moment, it was a lot, believe it or not. I used to spend more time on each video, but still. So for months and months, I was able to stick to that. And then in September, I said, hey, you know what? I'm gonna post once a week. Damn, this is a lot. This is a lot of work, but I'm making it happen. And then a few weeks ago, I start posting 3 times a week. No way this is possible. Like 1 video a week was already tough. Guess what? I made it happen. It seems like whatever goal I set, I always find a way to make it happen. And that's why simply setting the goal is so effective, because you find a way. This is because of Parkinson's law. Whatever time you give yourself to complete a certain task, a certain level of output, that's what it's gonna take. So obviously, if you also post YouTube videos, then this is an easy one for you. But think about your own business. What is that thing, the equivalent of YouTube videos for me, that you could produce more of, that would lead to a significant result? Simply set the goal of doing more of that, whatever that is, per week, and trust me, you're gonna find a way. The second principle is to use work splits. So you know how in the gym you have certain splits, push, pull, leg, upper, lower, a bunch of other splits, where you do a certain muscle or multiple muscle for a certain day of the week. Well, you can do the same for your work, and that's what I did to help me post 3 times per week. So for Monday, I write my scripts. For Wednesday, I record. Today's Wednesday. And then I edit on Sunday. Just like in the gym, Mondays for chest, Tuesdays for legs, so on and so forth. This makes sure that you always hit each and every muscle equally throughout the week, and you don't get to Sunday and you're like, oh shit, I forgot arms. Well, in the same way with your work, this ensures that you always get things done consistently and on time. Because when you set a big output goal, like 3 videos per week in my case, things need to move forward every single day. Falling 1 or 2 days behind can seriously make a difference. And if I don't set specific days for each part of producing videos, right, the scripting, editing, and recording, then I could get caught up with other activities, and then suddenly it's Friday. I've barely scripted the videos. I realize that I can't record them on Saturday. Oh shit, now it's Sunday. I need to record and edit. Forget it. Here's a good example. It's Monday, and you said Monday is for building the product, and then something comes up. It's a social event, a random obligation, but you say no because today is Monday and Mondays are for product development. You stick to the schedule, everything is good. If you don't make that type of commitment, then you say, okay, I'll just do it tomorrow. Today I'll go to this social event. But then you forget that Tuesday is your really big day at work. So you're too exhausted to work on your product when you come back home. And then it's Wednesday, and Wednesday is for sales calls. So now you're behind, you're fucked. So think about all the activities that need to get done in your business, dedicate certain days for those activities, and stick to it no matter what. If you click the first link in the description, you're literally going to get a free productivity one-on-one coaching call with me, where we go through any problem you might be facing right now, and I'll help you solve it. It's a no-brainer. Go ahead and click. The next principle is extreme simplification of my life. It always amazes me how rich people's lives are, right? So many hobbies and interests and social gatherings, so much going on. If I wanted to post 3 times a week, I had to simplify my life. No space for hobbies, no space for a bunch of different relationships. My schedule had to become boring, repetitive, and optimized for work. Here's what balance actually looks like if you're in your 20s building a business while working a full-time job. You prioritize one relationship. You don't see your girlfriend and also your friends and also your family every single week. You say, okay, you know what? I'm going to prioritize my group of friends. I'm going to see them 3 times a week. I'm going to game with them on Thursday night as well. And then the rest are going to be on maintenance mode. I can't afford to have a girlfriend right now, and I'm going to visit my parents once a month. You have one health goal. You know how much time it takes to train properly. Now imagine you not only have the goal of bulking up, but you're also trying to run a half marathon and get good at swimming for some reason. Forget about it. One business, not 3, not 4, one business where you put all of the limited time you have on that one business goal. No hobbies, no bullshit obligations, right? Random things you said yes to for some reason that have nothing to do with your goals, cut all of that out. The next principle is to fully take advantage of each hour. So getting a lot of stuff done on a weekly basis is not only about how many hours you work on your goals, it's also about the quality of each hour. And if you're working a full-time job and trying to grow a business, you really need to take advantage of each and every hour. So here's like my 30-second masterclass on how to take advantage of each hour. First of all, work in the morning when your energy is highest, not when you come back home from work and you're more prone to procrastination and low energy levels. Make the task clear. You need to know exactly what you're going to work on for the next hour, or else you're going to hop from one task to the other. It's going to be unclear what you actually need to accomplish. Not very productive. Use work sprints. Pull out a timer, set it for 1 hour, and just challenge yourself to not get out of your chair for the next hour and to complete what you need to get done in that hour. It turns it into a little race, a little game. It's a lot of fun and it's effective. And then work undistracted. Your phone should not be in the same room as you. No one else should be in the same room as you. Music on, fully focused for an hour. Work sprints in particular are so effective. The other day I was editing a video and usually videos would take me 7 to 8 hours to edit. That was back then when I put more editing. Now that day I decided to only use work sprints. So every single hour that I worked that day, I used the timer and I actually set a goal of what I wanted to get done during that hour. So I wanted to edit this part of the video in 1 hour. It was always a bit ambitious. It required all of my focus. Instead of taking 7 to 8 hours, it took me 5 hours to edit the whole thing. That's a 30% time reduction. It's honestly a game changer. The final principle is to spread the load. So let's say you wanted to work 56 hours a week. So most likely 40 hours at your job or school, and then about 16 hours on your business. There would be 2 ways of spreading out the work. The first way would be to work 8 hours per day at your job during the week, nothing else. And then you work 8 hours on Saturday and 8 hours on Sunday on your business. That's 56 in total. You're working 8 hours every single day. Now, the other method would be to work 10 hours per day, 5 days a week. So 2 hours maybe in the morning on your business, then your 8-hour shift. So it's a pretty heavy week, but then Saturday comes around, you work maybe 4 hours in the morning, and then on Sunday, you work 2 hours in the morning. That is 56 in total, but your Saturday afternoon is off, and Sunday is basically off the whole day. In my experience, that is much more sustainable than working 8 hours every single day. So when I say spread the load, I mean instead of pushing off all of your business hours to the weekend, spread it out during the week. Now here's a little cheat code for anyone who's been watching this whole time, just for you. If you're able to move your shift around, there's a much better alternative than the classic 9 to 5. 2 days a week, I work from 12 to 8 p.m. This is so effective because I've got a whole morning where I can easily put 2 hours towards my goals. And then at night, I come home, I eat a bit, I relax, I go to bed. Instead of having a really long evening that it's kind of hard to work on your goals because you don't have enough energy, but it's also like a really long time. So you're just kind of there, you know, maybe working out, eating, and just wasting a bunch of time. All right, that's it for me. Subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. Help me get there. I would very much appreciate it. Again, click the first link in the description. You will not regret it. Now, if you haven't started a business or, started to work on your goals because you think you don't have enough time, then you need to watch this video.